But first we want to make a filling. So here we have some ricotta cheese. And you want to make sure that you're using whole milk ricotta that you've drained very well. Get all the excess water out of it. So there's the cheese. And taste it for saltiness. If you think it needs a little bit of salt, put it in. I find that most commercially made ricotta cheeses here in this country can use a little bit of salt. I'm going to put just a pinch of pepper in there and a grating of nutmeg. There's some nutmeg. Here we have some basil, fresh basil. If you didn't have basil, you could use flat leaf Italian parsley for this. That goes in. And of course, some grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. You know that as that wonderful cow's milk cheese from the region of Emilia-Romagna. So you mix all of that up, and then we're going to put 2 eggs in. This is going to help set that filling and also bind all these ingredients together. I love this as a vegetable course for a dinner party because it's a little bit more elegant looking. Or you could just have it as a vegetarian supper with a salad on the side. So you mix that all up so it's well blended. And then of course you have already roasted your peppers. I'm going to show you how to clean the peppers for this. So there's our mixture. You could do this ahead of time if you wanted to do this several hours ahead of time, even the day before. You could do it the day before, put it in the refrigerator, and it's all ready to go. So now here is our pepper. Looks a little different than this now, right? That's because we roasted it in the oven. You can do it under the broiler. You can do it on your grill outside. You could bake them in the oven if you want to, but you want to have the peppers collapse enough so that you can get the skin off. So you pull out the stem, and when the pepper is cool enough to handle, then that's when you start to take off the skin. You start to pull the skin apart. And it is a messy job, and it's going to take you a few minutes to do. But you don't want to clean the pepper underneath the faucet. I used to do that, and then I got smart and realized that what I was doing was washing away all of the pepper flavor. So you really don't want to do that. So you want to pull the skin off of the pepper and make sure that you've roasted it enough so that you can get the skin off. And then after you do that, you have to open it up and take out all of those seeds. So the best way to do that is to use some paper towels. That's how I get control of these seeds. And I just brush them out. I think that's the easiest way to do it. You're going to, because otherwise if you use your hands, you're going to be always rinsing your hands off to get those seeds out. So you push away the seeds from the pepper until it's all nicely cleaned. It takes patience, folks. And then for this recipe, what you want to do is cut the pepper up into about 2-inch pieces. So there's one, here's the other one. So there are our 4 pieces of cleaned peppers. Now we can go on and do the fun part. Because once you have that, then you need a mold. This is where the name comes from, the timbalo, a little mold. So this is just a little ramekin. You can use like a 4 to 6 inch ramekin, and you take the peppers and you line them, you see, in the pan. You line them in the pan so you give it enough of an overhang. You don't care what this is going to look like on the top because you're never going to see this. But you want to make sure that you have lined it so that the filling is going to stay inside the pepper. And here is the last one. And you fill the mold with some of this wonderful ricotta mixture. Look at that. Isn't this pretty for a party? Now don't overfill it, because if you overfill it when it's baking, it will split, and then you will have a mess on your hands. So that's just about enough. Then you take the top of the pepper and just fold it in, just like that. Fold it over. Kind of press down on it a little bit, just to keep it all together. And now you're going to bake those. So you want to do at least 4 to 6 of those. Here's some that we did earlier. So I'm going to put the red pepper in. And those are ready to go nel forno. So they're going into the oven. And you want to bake those, I would say at least 25 to 35 minutes. And the first thing you want to do, make sure you grease those little ramekins well so that you can just go around the outside, you see, and unmold them very easily. If you don't grease them, it may be a little bit more difficult to get them out. So then you take a nice serving dish. Let's take the red one first and just turn it over and hope that it comes out. Well, maybe I got to put my knife around that just a little bit more. Wants to come out. Come on. Okay, isn't that beautiful? And then what I like to do with this is I like to dress this up with sorrel. You know, the Italians don't use this very often, but I love it because it has a nice minty, not minty, but lemony taste to it. It's a wonderful, wonderful herb, comes up every year in the garden. So a couple wonderful sorrel leaves along the side, like so. And who wouldn't want to eat something like that